Good afternoon. I am Allison, aka Bad Widow, and the thing I want to talk to you about today, and I will jump around a bit in this dating and relationship, this whole inquiry about seeking and finding intimacy and love again. But today, what I want to talk to you about is setting up a profile. So how do you set up a dating profile? The first thing I did, I was very strategic about it. I knew that I had not dated since 1992 when I met my husband. The world had changed a lot. And so I kind of needed to stack the deck for myself. I needed to make it easier for myself, to have less pitfalls, to not crash and burn too often, because I literally had my husband die in my arms. So the idea of looking to date again was absolutely probably one of the more terrifying things I've ever done in my life. So first I prepared myself, and then the second thing I did was I wrote a dating profile and I picked photos. And what I would encourage you to do if you're looking at writing a dating profile is don't think about the other person at all, because ultimately the thing that is most seductive is authenticity and vulnerability. So if we are pretending to be something that we're not in order to attract somebody, then they're not actually being attracted to who we are. They're being attracted to something of a facade. And that works fine for dating, but long term, that is not a sustainable way to build a relationship. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to start with you. What do you want? And what do you want to show about yourself? So for example, in my dating profile, I said straight up that I was a widow, because if somebody was going to have a problem with it, I wanted them to swipe me left right away. I didn't want to get into a conversation with someone, find out I liked them, and then find that they had a huge issue with that. So for you, what you need to do is you need to look at the things that are important to you and the ways that you see yourself, and think about if you were telling someone the most important things about you. The other thing to do is to think of activities that you like to do. In dating profiles, there are sort of somewhat boring, I like to walk on the beach, and I like romantic dinners, and there's something specific about you that makes those things true perhaps, but very specific to who you are. And the more you can get down into the granular nature of what makes those things specifically pleasurable for you, the more likely it is you're going to attract someone who likes that too. So for example, I actually really don't like sandy beaches. If somebody is, their best thing to do is go down to the Jersey Shore every weekend, they're not my person. I like rocky beaches. So that's a very specific, fairly odd thing. And that went into my profile. So what is there like that about you that you could put in yours? You're going to identify activities that you like doing. At the beginning of dating, the only question is, are you going on a second date? For me, I used each date as an opportunity to get to know the person better. So I was interested, if we went to a restaurant, in why that person chose that restaurant. Why did that person choose that music? Why did that person choose that kind of date? Because with each question and each activity, I learned a little bit more about that person. And I could see if it was going to be a good matchup. My aim in being really clear about the activities that I like to do was that I have discovered that people say yes if it's going to be a win-win. For the most part, people don't like disappointing other people. So if you can make really clear what you want, then they can say, yes, I like doing that thing too, or not. And or not is fine. That eliminates the people who don't like to do what you like to do. But If they do like to, for example, I like to go to museums. I like to walk around the city. Those are two things I like. If you can be very clear about what you like, you tend to attract other people who like the kinds of things that you like. Maybe not exactly, maybe not specifically, but close enough. Even if it's not a great date, even if there's not huge chemistry, you'll still have a nice time because you're both doing things that you enjoy doing. And finally, and I gave an example of this already, pick something that is quirky or idiosyncratic or something that someone who knew you really well would say about you. So for example, when I was a little kid, I had a nurse and I was so stubborn that this nurse said, if you threw me in the water into a stream, I would swim up. That's an odd little thing. So every single person has something like that that they could say that would show more about them than just saying, I'm stubborn. Some little story. The pictures you choose also tell a story. What do you want to say about yourself with your pictures? What do you want to say about yourself with your words? This is your presentation to the other person. Later on, I'll talk about how to tweak it if you're not getting the results that you like. So that's it for today. Allison Penna, aka Bad Widow, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye.